Hello, today I'm going to be answering some questions. Now, you can disagree with my answers, but keep in mind my answer may be the actual solution. I remember this really important time. I'm not going to get into the specifics of it, but there was a teacher bullying me. And this happened in elementary school. And I was fortunate enough to have a really, really good principal. Thank you, Mr. F. I'm not going to say his actual name because for the public reasons. And to tell the truth, I don't even know if Mr. F is even still alive or not. But, alright, just out of respect, I'm not going to do that. And the teacher bullied me in elementary school. And Mr. F got the problem solved. Fantastic. Now, there was a time in high school that was horrible. It was the most leftist. Oh my goodness. It was absolutely disgusting and absolutely pathetic. Right, unfortunately, I was actually being bullied by adults. I'm not going to get too much into that. But the only action that I could take was go to the police. And if you're a student or if you are a parent, you got to go to the police. Now, the police may not do the best investigation up to your standards. And I have heard stories like that. I mean, with me, the police are absolutely fine. They helped me out. But there are going to be times sometimes when the police don't do the best and you wish that they did more. But even if they don't do as much as you would like them to, at least you're getting some closure for that bullying scenario. So go to the police is my recommendation for that. What is something that I can do so then I'm less likely to be bullied? Alright, so because you're a student, this is the best thing that you can do. Stand up for yourself and have self-confidence. Now, self-confidence can be hard to develop. It took me a while to build up self-confidence, but there was a time in my life where I was bullied and I needed to develop self-confidence so I could stand up for myself. So the only way you can really stand up for yourself is if you build self-confidence in yourself. And probably one of the best things that I've ever done in my life to help build self-confidence, and this is why I'm a motivational speaker, because motivational speakers have a lot of self-confidence. And what I did is I actually started taking martial arts classes. It was actually Kempo karate. And over the course of many years, as I started growing up through the ranks, I built self-confidence in myself that I never had. Now, I'm not saying you have to take a martial arts class. Maybe you can find something else that's more appealing to you. But you need to do something that's going to help you build self-confidence so you can stand up for yourself in a bullying situation. What was the most important thing in your life to help you achieve becoming a motivational speaker? Well, I would have to say self-confidence again. Over the course of time, I built up my self-confidence, and there was one day, it was near the end of the year, and I remember there was a motivational speaker who came into the school and he was speaking down at a gymnasium. And he asked if there would be any volunteers who would come down. And I raised my hand, and I go down there and I see all these people in the audience, but I'm not nervous. And I just feel really comfortable being watched by everybody. And the motivational speaker asked me, what is it that you would like to achieve in your life? And I said on the microphone in front of everybody, my goal is to become a race car driver and race around all the different racing circuits and become a racing legend. And I felt really good about myself, and everybody up there on the bleachers cheered for me, and I was really happy. And that's when I knew that I had self-confidence in myself. And that's the starting point of how I developed myself into a motivational speaker today. Okay, here's a fun question. Why do you wear yellow polos? Now, I actually have made a couple of videos on that, so you can definitely reference those. But I'll break it down really quickly. So, I was actually watching a show that showed the Lamborghini factory, and they were wearing yellow polos, the workers were. And I'm like, I really like the color of those yellow polos that they were wearing. And then I bought my first one, and now I have 4 of them. And what's kind of interesting is since then, I actually went to my first track day out in Las Vegas. And what's interesting about me is I don't gamble and I don't drink alcohol. But I went out to Las Vegas specifically to drive a $230,000 Mercedes-Benz SLS AMG. And I wanted to compare them, or compare it, I should say, to the Mercedes-Benz AMG GT, because they don't make the SLS AMG anymore. And I noticed at AMG Driving Academy they didn't have the SLS AMGs anymore as an option to race. So I'm the type of person who takes an initiative, and I went all the way across the country to Las Vegas, not to gamble, not to drink alcohol, because I don't do those two things, but to race my ultimate dream cars. Unfortunately, the AMG GT, apparently somebody wrecked it before I could drive it. Wasn't too happy about that. So I had to drive the Lamborghini Giarrusso LP550-2, which I was very disappointed. The only reason I decided that car is I remember watching a program with Chris Harris, and he said that that the Lamborghini Giarrusso LP550-2 drives a lot like a Lamborghini Diablo. And I really like the Lamborghini Diablo. That's a really old one. That's from, like, I think before I even started going to school. And so I was curious, so I wanted to try it. And unfortunately, I didn't really care for it that much. I was actually quite disappointed. But you have to remember, the Lamborghini Giarrusso LP550-2, that's a $140,000 car. And the SLS AMG was just so balanced and so perfect. You know, I was very disappointed by the Lamborghini Giarrusso. That's all I'm going to say for now. I like this question. Should I buy a yellow Polo just like you? Yes, you should. Oh, man. I want to become an author one day. how do I become an author just like yourself? Okay, that's actually a really great question because, not too many people ask me that. And all I can do is tell you what I have done. I don't know what other people have done to become authors themselves. But the first thing I did is I strengthened my writing ability by writing instead of playing video games all day. But I actually started doing that just because I got really bored with video games. So I'm like, okay, I gotta do something else. So that's kind of what drove me to write better. So if it's a question of, do you need more writing practice? That maybe. Is it a question of content? I don't know. But for me, I practiced my writing. I got really good at it. And then one day I just had enough to write. I had about this much just of papers about my paranormal experiences. And then I put it together, I typed it up, then I did my revision, and then I self-published. And now I have the ability to, as an author, to write more books, and I also become a publisher, and I learned a new skill. Remember, publishers are the ones who create the books, like the actual tangible book itself. Authors are the writers. So if you learn those two skills, especially, or I'm not sure how old you are, I don't know if you're a student or what, but if you are a student, practice writing, learn the skills of editing and revising, type it out, and then you have your book. Then you become an author. And then, when you're ready, you can either get somebody to publish for you or you can self-publish. I've learned the skills on how to publish. It actually wasn't that hard. It's actually more time-consuming than hard. I would say publishing is easier than actually writing as an author, but publishing is time-consuming. So if you don't have like 5 hours in your day to dedicate continuous publishing stuff, that can be a little bit of a challenge. But right, pretty much it's mostly formatting this and formatting that. But if you know what you're doing, I think I could probably get it down to maybe about 2 hours to publish. But you gotta remember, a lot of time is wasted because you have to upload the book onto the internet and all that kind of stuff, and then you have to move it from here to there, and you gotta keep putting in all different formats, and that takes a lot of time. And then you have to download, the right programs to do this and then to do that. It was kind of obnoxious. It was an annoying learning curve. But now that I know what I'm doing, I can publish now, and I can actually help you publish if you want me to. So that's really good because I have those skills. I hope that answered your question. If you were an animal, what animal would you choose? Well, I would choose a human being. Humans are my favorite animals. From my perspective, there is nothing more intelligent on this planet than a human being. You don't see dolphins writing books. They don't become authors. Oh, man.